worry about the math quiz. You don't need to know the answers here, just how to code the questions in the C language. The computer does the rest. Write new code that declares two float variables A and B. Prompt the user to input values for A and B. Then show the results of adding the values, then subtracting, multiplying, dividing, setting value A to exponent B, and finally display the square root of both values. This exercise could take up to 15 minutes to complete, but I bet you finish a lot quicker. I hope you enjoyed this exercise, as it requires you to write quite a few lines of code as shown here in my solution. Your solution need not look exactly like this. Lines 8 through 11 are prompting for input. First value A, and then value B, and the two floating point variables are defined here. Floating points are necessary because of the division that's required as part of the solution. Lines 13 through 16 display the mathematical calculations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. The POW function is used at line 17 to obtain the power of base A raised to exponent B. Then two square root functions are required, one to obtain the square root of A, the second to obtain the square root of B. Let me run my solution. And I'm going to type in some low values to make sure that things don't get too crazy. 3 and 4. And 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 minus 4 is -1. 3 times 4, you see that it all looks like, well, the square roots. I know that the one for 4 is correct. I'll assume that the one for 3 is also correct. Potential warnings or errors you may have encountered during this challenge include missing semicolons. All C language statements end with a semicolon. You might have forgotten the weird ampersand that appears in the scanf function. You might have missed some parentheses here or there. Omitting an argument in the printf function, one that doesn't match up exactly with the variable argument specified, is another common error. You might have forgotten to include the math.h header file, which is required for the POW and square root functions. You could also have forgotten the return at the end of the main function. Take such errors in stride. We all make them, and it's just part of the learning process. The compiler alerts you with warnings and errors, showing you which line they've occurred in. The messages may be cryptic now, but as you learn C, you'll understand them, fix your code, and eventually become a great C language programmer.